minute, 1 minute. The recording has started. So,
okay, let me share my screen.
All right. Okay, so welcome everyone to yet another session. Today we are getting into product management. I mean, I am a product manager, so you know that I am very excited about all the insights that we will be getting from this session. And you know, we have one of the best in the industry. She is a certified Scrum Master on top of being a product manager. Joy Omari has actually been a software engineer before. She has worked on quite a number of applications. She has insights in JavaScript, SQL, React JS, and PHP. Well, the one and only PHP, which people do not like. So she is a tech girly, as she, states on her LinkedIn. She has worked on quite a number of projects, one of them being the ESG Watchtower, a platform designed to help companies easily track and improve their environmental, social, and governance metrics. Let me tell you, this girl, she has also worked on another product called Clean Stitches, a platform for sustainable fashion. Have you ever heard of fashion being sustainable? Joy, you are just remarkable. And the other product that she has worked on is C12, a platform that empowers artists who are tackling addiction and mental health challenges. So, as you can see, we are dealing with a problem solver. So, you definitely want to hear all the insights that Joy has to offer us. Now, guys, with clapping emojis, let us welcome Joy. So, Joy, welcome. Welcome to the session. Hi guys, can you hear me?
I think Joy might be muted, so
Ah,
check.
okay. Okay. All right. It's because I didn't see the clapping emojis as well. So kindly let us clap. Please just clap again. Maybe I'm the one who's clapping emojis. Let's see them coming so that I see whether it's my laptop that's behaving funny.
Hi, can you guys hear me now?
Yes, 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 yes. We can hear you. We can hear you.
Oh, it's a pity you didn't hear my banger introduction.
Oh,
I thought I was unmuted. So, amen.
Amanda. Okay.
Amen. Okay. Thank you, Rachel, for this opportunity.
Mhm.
So hi everyone. My name is Joy Omari. I'm a PM at Transsion Holdings. So I will be taking you guys through product management. Basically, what I do, insight into product management, how you can get into that, and why you should join us. So it is going to be an interactive session. So please feel free to unmute, to share anything you want to share in the chats. Rachel,
Yes,
kindly, if someone asks anything in the chats, tell me.
for sure. I got
That's,
you. Don't
yeah.
worry.
Okay, so let us start. Okay, so I don't know how many of you guys actually know what product management is. By show of hands, I don't know, emojis or something. Okay. Okay, so I think I'll start the slides by sharing what I do as a PM, and then that way we can get deeper into it. Because I feel like just defining what a PM is, everybody can just go to Google or ChatGPT or wherever and just search who is a product manager and just get the answer. So yeah. And I hope you guys don't mind me being bilingual. Is there anyone who doesn't understand English and Swahili? Okay. Okay, that's okay. Okay, so a day in my life as a PM. So I was joking with Rachel the other day that I'll start by saying, oh, I wake up in the morning, I do a skincare routine, I take my coffee and all that. But let me just get straight to it. So being a PM means that you have to deal with multiple stakeholders in a company. For those who don't know what stakeholders or who stakeholders are, these are the different teams in a company or in an organization. So being a PM means that you're at the center of them all. You're basically building a product from the ideation all the way to launch. So as a PM, you ensure that this product has been built well all the way from the idea phase, like the first thought of it, to the last point where this product is going to the market. So that's basically it. You're the connector, the link between everyone that is involved in all that process. We can imagine if you guys want to build a product from the ideation, like from an idea all the way to penye the user is getting the product at hand. What are the different, or who are the different stakeholders, or who are the different people who are going to be involved in that journey? Can you guys, I don't know, unmute and maybe you can say, oh, the front end designer is going to, or there'll be a front end designer, there'll be a back end front end developer, sorry, back end developer and stuff. Do you guys mind?
Okay,
Rachel,
so guys, this is a good time to actually start interacting. You can choose to write in the comments, you can choose to unmute your mic. Yes. So maybe Joy, you can repeat the question.
I was asking,
Mm-hmm.
we want to build a product from the ideation phase where you are coming up with the idea all the way to selling the product to the consumers.
Mm-hmm.
Who are the different stakeholders that you guys think are going to be involved? And I've come up with maybe an example. There's going to be a front-end developer. If it's an app, who's going to create the front side of the app? Yeah, so I'm asking, who else do you guys think? There's going to be, let us say, Fred, a designer who's going to design the app.
So guys, give more, suggestions. Let's interact. Let's talk. Who else is going to be involved? Steven says backend devs. Tamar says graphic designer, and Angie says business execs.
Yeah. So I think that's enough for now. So yeah, there's going to be that.
Oh, we have also
Definitely
customer.
going to be engineers. Yeah, engineers. Nice. So there are also going to be researchers. We may have people in finance if it's going to be an app that generates income. Like there are very many stakeholders involved. And for all these stakeholders to come together and align properly so that this product is built and developed and is launched well, there needs to have a PM in between so that they can connect all these stakeholders together. So basically, a day in my life is communicating with all these different stakeholders and ensuring that everything that they're doing is aligned to what we are building, may it be a product, an app, a website, or whatever. So yes, it does sound like a lot of work, but it's not when you get the hang of it. So I've given here a preview of basically what I do. So there is reviewing metrics, basically reviewing where product imefika wapi. We have different metrics for different stakeholders. For example, how the finance team are going to measure their success, maybe according to how much revenue they generate, is not the same way with how to say a designer is going to measure their success. Designers will maybe look at the app, see the designs, maybe see if it meets the customers' demand, if the customers are going to like this, I don't know, this interface and all that. And that is very, very different from how someone in finance or something is going to do it. And as a PM, you have to ensure that everything is aligned. If the users don't like the designs, if the users don't like what they see when they join the app, they will not invest money in it. Cindy, see, that's basic logic. They won't see the value in it. So as a PM, you have to ensure that all these are aligned so that the user finds value in whatever product you're building. So next, also meeting with the research team. I think one of the most important teams in a company, research team, because these are the people who go out there who understand exactly what the user wants and then bring back that information to the team so that the team can create exactly what the user wants. I think most of you guys have heard of products failing. See, so many apps have been created. So many companies have started, created something failed. And some of these ideas are actually very good. I've had some very great ideas. Most of the time they fail majorly because of lack of capital, and two, because users don't actually use it. When I create something so good, but users don't want it, maybe because that's not what their current need is. If you take something like, I don't know, an AI robot in Turkana, no one is going to use that. In Turkana, people want water and food. Yes, your AI robot is a great idea, but that is not their target. That is not their main concern. So you definitely have to work very hand in hand with the research team to understand exactly who your target customers are and exactly what they need. Also, definitely align with the engineers and the designers to create exactly what the users need. Prioritize once again. If you take this AI robot to Turkana, and then you hear that they don't want an AI robot. They want maybe a robot that I don't know can create water from thin air. Then you're going to prioritize that. You're going to be like, okay, that's exactly what they want. So let us build this first. So that's basic prioritization. I think that was a very vague example. Okay, as I've said, syncing with stakeholders and reviewing definitely the user feedback and defining roadmap. So this is what I do. It is not as straightforward, or it is not like a constant thing, like every day I wake up and I do these exact things. Every day is different. I think everyone in their life knows every day comes with different challenges, but this is a summary of what I do almost every other day.
Joy, just to
So
ask you, right? You've talked about
uh,
researchers. Are those the UX researchers, or which type of researchers are this you're talking about?
I think that depends with the capacity of the team.
Mm-hmm.
In very corporate or very big companies where they have all the money to employ all the people, there are
Okay.
very different types of researchers. Like you may have UX researchers, you may have researchers who their work is solely to go and check are users actually using the product.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that, and if maybe there's a startup, you may have that one researcher doing everything. But
Mm-hmm.
basically, the work that I've seen mostly on the research side is
Mm-hmm.
to identify what the user needs,
Mm-hmm.
identifying the users first, what
Mm-hmm.
exactly they need, and
Mm-hmm.
then ensuring that the team tailors the solution according to this. If you go
Awesome.
out there and you find that the user needs A and B, you ensure that A and B are the ones being made.
Okay.
Mhm. Any other questions, Rachel?
For now, no, but I definitely ask the audience, if you do have a question, feel free to raise your hand. Feel free to send a message in the chat. Okay. Feel comfortable and feel at home. Okay, we can continue, Joy.
Okay. So as you guys continue asking questions, don't be shy. Ask anything. If you don't understand even the most slight thing, just text. I don't know, text and then delete the message maybe, so that people will not laugh at you, but just text so that we
Okay.
can answer you.
All right.
So good PMs and great PMs. So definitely there's a very big difference between the two. There are very many PMs out there, and that's why we have some companies working out better than others. And you may ask, what are the difference? So let us start with the good PM. Good PM actually does the job. They make sure that the features have been delivered. For example, if they hear users want to send M-Pesa, an app that can send, can transact money, they just make sure that that is it. They will create an app that transacts money. They make sure these tasks have been done. If they want this app to be green, red, blue, they ensure that that is done. They follow the procedure, and they make sure that all the teams are aligned. As I've said, a major part of being a PM is ensuring that all these teams are working together towards a common goal. So a good PM does that, and it does the job for most companies. That's why we have so many companies all over the world. But then, once again, we have good companies and we have outstanding companies. So there is where great PMs come in. So great PMs, there's somewhere where I read some time ago, which I'm really coming to see that it is true. Great PMs anticipate user needs. Let us take, for example, like something like an email. There was this time I was having a chat with the CEO for Britam, and he was saying that the first time he saw an email working, like when I say email, I mean something like WhatsApp, like you could text from your phone and the other person receives the message immediately. So the first time he saw that working, he was so surprised. He couldn't believe it. He had to prove it. He had to like text someone here and literally go all the way to where they are to see that that person has received the message.
Really?
So he was saying, yeah, it was so funny when he was giving that story. So he was saying that when Gmail, I think the current Gmail email, was making the app, at that time, I think computers were already launched by Microsoft. And yeah, I think computers were already launched. And the idea of computers was to connect people. So the email people, the email team thought that, how about we ensure that now that they're computers, people from all over the world can connect and they can communicate instantly. So they anticipated that as a need, that you are in Kenya and I'm in Malaysia. How will I text you and receive the information immediately? They anticipated it and they created it. So these were great PMs coming. They anticipate, they see trends, they see what is happening in the current technology and anticipate. Now that we have AI, which is the current tech, what can we use with AI that maybe the user will need in the future? Will users want their, I don't know, let me think of something. Once again, as I had said, will they want water to be created from thin air since maybe rain takes too much time to create? So they can create machines using AI and robotics to do that. You just anticipate a user need, you see where the world is going, and you think, in 10 years, what will users do? And you start making it now, because
I'm not sure if I'm the only one who can't hear Joy. Fred, can you hear
actually
Joy?
drive.
Oh,
Tell
okay.
me.
Joy, I think you broke off at a point. Maybe you can just repeat your last statement. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, I was saying that great PMs anticipate users' needs. They think what users are going to want in the future, and they start creating it now. So that is one. Sorry. And then two, they drive real user to create business impact. As much as we are as PMs and designers and developers, we are creating apps. We want apps that are profitable. So as much as you're creating something, at the end of the day, you think, will this actually have an impact? And profit doesn't necessarily mean money. It can also mean engagement. So those are two. yeah, so the first way you can make profit is actually money, which I think all other businesses are doing. And the other one is through engagement. Have users engage in whatever you are doing. And that way you can create a community of people who believe in you and who are willing to invest in you. The best example is this company. You can Google it. Let me just text it in the charts. So it's called Africa's Shared Value. So Africa Shared Value is a company that is, let us call it an NGO. It is an NGO that creates money only through users engagement. They don't have a product per se that they're selling, or like an app, or like shoes, or like cars they're selling, but they engage users in whatever they're doing, and users are willing to pour out their money on them. So those are two ways you can impact your business, either monetize and user engagement. And I mostly go for the user engagement. Have people believe in what you're doing, have people engage in your business. That way they will see the need. They will see the need to invest in it. So great PMs do that. They just don't create apps that, or these are, I don't know, products that make money. They also create products that people really find value in, they engage in. Are we good until?
Well, maybe we can look at the comments, guys. If you have any questions, you can just keep asking as we go. We will definitely be reading your questions. I think we can go on. Joy.
Oh, okay, Sawa. So another thing that great PMs do, they influence without authority, like without shouting so much. I think that I've learned about products, building products over time, is great products talk to themselves. Ni this Swahili phrase, kitu nzuri hujitembeza. Okay, honestly, me don't know Swahili
Chama
that
cha
well. Ni kitu
kuuza kibaya cha jitembeza.
kijiuza ama nini? Kitu nzuri
Yeah,
chajiweka.
that's right. I'll type it in the chat as who passed in
Yeah,
Swahili. Okay. Uh-huh.
yeah, so that one. So great PMs actually influence that, and they influence by building great products. Sometimes you just see
Okay.
something and you're like, I can create a lot of this is very valuable, and I see it impacting my life. So for that thing to for you to think that there is someone who thought that before you and created it, for you to see something like a lunchbox and think, hey, this lunchbox, I can be packing my lunch here and eating it at work. There's someone who thought, what if I create something like a lunchbox that people will pack their lunch and go and eat their lunch at work? So you see, they didn't have to come all the way to your doorstep and knock and tell you, oh, buy this lunchbox. You saw the product and you thought of it and you're like, hey, this can really solve this problem of mine. You see, it influenced you. So that is what great PMs do. Other than making products, they make products that influence, where the user can see the product and see value in the product without even being told. We good?
Mhm. Yes, yes. Yes, we're good.
Okay, so let me see the other two. So once again, what great PMs do, they inspire shared vision. So today I was on a talk with a friend of mine called Tiki. And Tiki, actually the shared value, the Africa shared value I was telling you about. So Tiki is the founder. So Tiki believes so much in people collaborating to do good or to do one thing. So that is where, once again, I've said great PMs come in. The big part of a PM's job is to collaborate to ensure that all the stakeholders are building a product in a building one product, like they have a shared vision of what this is going to do. So that has to be done through a lot of communication. You have to constantly communicate. We are doing this so that this can it can benefit people this way. We are building this way. So you constantly communicate and inspire like a shared vision among people so that they can constantly know at the back of their head why they're doing whatever they're doing. So I think that is it for the good PMs, great PMs. Does anyone have a question? You
Awesome.
guys don't have any question?
Well, I'm sure the questions will come as we go by. I can also see time is really moving. So,
Oh my
because
gosh.
yeah, so
Okay, let me rush through that.
yeah, so I think what I would advise is you can just keep the questions coming in the comments as Joy continues. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so top three skills for junior PMs. If you want to in product management, so communication, as I have already said again and again and again, you have to be very good at talking. Not necessarily like talking, like being a yapper, but texting,
Mhm.
like making sure everyone knows what they're doing and what they're doing it. Prioritization, as I've said, focus on what matters. Why build exactly what people want at that time. And then also say no, be very confident in saying no to things that don't matter. If people don't want things, just say no in a smart way, not just no. And also empathy, as I've said, understanding what exactly the users really want and building a
Mhm.
product for them. I think we have gone through these
Mhm.
skills through my talks. So we can
Yeah.
just go to the next slide. Okay, so the first framework to learn. So if you're entering into PM, how how will you do it? Like what is the framework you would use? So there's so many ways, there's so many frameworks. They're like Moscow, there's Rice. There's so many that people use out here depending on how they learned it. But I think this double diamond works. It's basically an incorporation of all those all those frameworks. So if you're building a product, you can follow through these steps. I don't know, you guys can take a screenshot so that you can go through it. So first, you can explore the problem space, like what challenges are the users currently facing, and then pinpoint the exact problems. If it is about maybe financial transactions, maybe let us talk about M-Pesa. If the users can't send money to each other, then that is the problem. So the problem is the users are unable to send money. I have a mother who is in I don't know, in I can't send her the money. And then explore possible solutions. How will I be able to send her the money? Will I use a parcel? Will I go all the way to Machakos to give her the money? Or can I create an app that we can send money? And then ship and iterate. Look into the problem with other people. Most of the time, try not to work alone. Sometimes something might be very good in your head, but when you put it in paper, it is not as good as you thought it was. So if you have an idea, for example, the M-Pesa idea, you want to transact money, you want to send money from point A to point B, talk with other people about it so that you also see their point of view. That is what I mean by cheap and iterate. And finally, if it is a good product, now make it, see how the users behave on it. If the users like it, continue making it. But if the users don't like it at the first go, either remake it or just stop there. Don't be delulu sometimes. Sometimes, honestly, the users don't like want it. That will change color, will change nini, will change what. So yeah. So you guys can use this double diamond framework. It works. People have used it before. So it is a good framework for PM. So until there, do you guys have any questions, or have you guys ever tried any other frameworks before, or are there any that you guys can recommend to us to jaribu? Continue asking in the messages. Wacha niendelee. Okay, and please also, if you have anything to say, please say so that it can be an interactive session. I feel like I'm talking to myself. This is lonely, guys. So,
Okay, so now that we do not want Joy to feel too lonely, I would also like to, put somebody on the spot, probably a framework that you have used or if not, you've not used any of the frameworks, maybe something that you have learned so far. So, Caroline, Jerry, please, please do us the honors. Let us hear your voice. Maybe a framework that you've worked on, or what you've learned so far throughout this session. Caroline. Has someone raised their hand? Okay. Juma. You guys, you do not want to speak to us today. I am going to I'm calling people randomly. Vanessa, can you hear us? Okay, okay. So Joy, maybe just for me, in terms of using frameworks, especially when a product is in MVP, I think Moscow, the must-haves, should have, could have. I really love that framework for some reason. I find it so simple. And one of the things that, I
Mm-hmm.
can see that in the comments, where should you document your work as a PM? That's from Vanessa and from Tama. Can you go back to the previous slide in a bit? So go to the previous slide, the slide for, what is it called? The diamond, the diamond framework. Yes, yes, the double diamond framework. Okay, so Tama, I hope you can see that. So Joy, those are the two questions that have been asked. Moses has also asked, who is exactly is a PM? He's still trying to understand who is a PM. So maybe you can give him, a practical example, give us a product, and yeah, maybe he would understand better from that. So Tama says the recommended activities for PM newbies. Yeah, so I think we can build from that.
Okay. So let me start with Tama. So and then I'll answer all the questions. Start with Tama and then I'll proceed. So recommended activities. So this was just a way to break I've been teaching a lot. So this is a way to break the ice a bit. Position,
Joy,
especially
I
if you
think you're
don't have a
breaking a bit.
community.
Um, you have broken, so we don't know. Like your internet
If
got a bit shaky. Yeah.
hello,
Yes, yes. I think now your internet
can
should be
you
better,
hear
so
me?
we can move on. Yeah. Yes, yes, we can hear you.
Okay, just a second. Let me. It's now better.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe if you keep talking, we'd know better. But yeah,
Okay,
I think
can
we
you
can
see my
go to,
screen?
yes, we can see your screen perfectly.
Okay, I was saying, so the recommended activities for PM. So when I joined PMing, I joined very solo. I didn't have like a group, or honestly, I didn't have anybody. I didn't know anybody who was a PM. I didn't have any friend who was a PM. It was just me, myself, and I. So these are the activities or the, can I call the groups that I used so that I can grow in PM. But you guys are also lucky that you also have Mastercraft and Tech. So on top of Mastercraft and Tech, you can also use this. So I used to do a lot of side projects. So I post them on LinkedIn if you can check it out. So building side projects helps you to identify, to actually know how a product is being made. It is easy to know something if you guys, if you know how it is done. Like, it is easy to lead something if you know exactly what it is. If you're a farmer, it is easy for you kwenda kupanda mahindi if you know mahindi hata inakaa aje, inapandwa aje. So when you're building products, it is easy to make them if you've built them before. So for schools, I would highly recommend Product School and Exponent PM. So I think Product School, you have to pay for the certifications, and Exponent PM as well, but they're good. There's some companies that actually want certifications if you're applying to them to be a PM. So these certifications are very widely recognized. So but sometimes they're a bit expensive because they're worldly. So, but you guys can check them out. And also join communities. Tafuta PMs around. For example, here we are 19 or 20 we are 20 in this chat. So kwa our 20, try to get a few numbers so that you are not alone in this journey. So yeah. So once again, take a picture of this, Google these things so that you cannot be alone in this journey. And also join Mastercraft. We are all together. See, all of us, we are in this meeting. So make sure you have gotten either number ya mtu, email ya mtu, even if it's just me and Rachel, us two is enough. They say two is a crowd, us two is enough. And so that you're not alone. So before, I think there's a question that someone has asked, like, where do you document your things? So that takes me to the next slide. So on the next slide, what are user stories and PRDs? So here is where I document my things, user stories and PRDs. Once again, depending on the company, documents vary. They vary a lot, genuinely, also depending with the product you're building. But these two remain constant. Hizi mbili hata uende wapi, as a PM utazipata, you have to know them. These are the questions that are going to be asked in an interview. If you don't know what these two are, watafikiria you don't know things. So let me explain what they are. User stories. So user stories is basically a document that is written in first person. So you write it like this. As a user, I want to do this and this so I can do this and this. Let me give an example. Yeah, the example I've used here, sending money to my mother in Machakos. So as a user, I want to send my money to my mother in Machakos. So sorry. As a user, I want an app that transacts finances so I can be able to send money to my mother in Machakos. But let me see if I can repeat that. I've just made it up right now. As a user, I want an app that transacts finances so I can be able to send money to my mother in Machakos. So from that sentence alone, your sentence peke yake, you can come up with a whole idea. You can come up with an all app that does exactly that generates a lot of money, that builds a whole company called Safaricom that employs thousands of people, literally from ads. So user stories are very important because they explain exactly what that thing does. So APA actually wanted some of us to come up with our own user stories. So think of something, like just say, think of anything, alafu post for group. Who knows, it can be the next big thing. So try to create something. As a user, I want blah, 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 so I can blah, blah, blah. So think as a user, like fikiria kama mtu, fikiria as the user. So you can post some things, alafu tutasoma za watu. Don't be shy. At least post that watu ka watano or kumi so that you can read them. So user stories are very important. The next very important thing is PRDs. So I think some of you guys have had PRDs being mentioned that are on LinkedIn a lot by PMs. So PRD is a very, very big document. It is a document that outlines the entire scope of the product. From my previous user story, nimesema as a user, I want an app that ina transact finances so that I can send money to my mother in Machakos. Tukakaa tukafikiria hiyo app basi ni M-Pesa. So PRD inapeana the entire scope of M-Pesa. Hii M-Pesa ilifikiriwa aje? Why? Like what was the user demand? Were there actually the people listening? All the way to the details, the technical details of the app. For example, the designs, the front end, the languages that the front ends are using, the scope, the back end, the security measures, firewalls, and all that, all the way to the marketing strategy ya kumarket hii M-Pesa. Yani, I think mnaelewa, like PRD in a very big document, sometimes literally pages and pages that outline the entire scope of the enemy of the product. So a PRD is not written in one day. Overthink. It is written in, sometimes it can take a whole year to write. So so what I usually do, I first write the outline of the PRD. If you want an outline, I think I can send them to you. I do an outline, and then after doing an outline, I naenda nikifill in according to the progress of the app. Kama leo tumedo front end, naenda nikifill in hizo details. If you have done a marketing strategy with the marketing team, na fill hizo details. You see, like, ni document yenye ina updateiwa every time as the nini progresses. The importance of a PRD, this document, is to ensure that everyone understands exactly what is going on. So this PRD is shared with almost everybody that is involved in building the product. Ndio kila mtu aelewe. Ukiscroll kwa hiyo PRD unaona marketing wanafanya hivi. Ukiscroll tena unaona watu wa design wako hapa. Like you see, it is one place where everybody can see what everybody is doing. And also it can be transferred to other people. If as a PM nitoke your company, mwingine aingie, atatumia hii PRD kuelewa the entire scope, ataelewa everything that is happening through that one document. Instead of going kwa every department knock milango, kuuliza mnafanya nini, mmefika wapi? So mumeelewa? As a user, I want to create an online voting app so that I can vote at home. That's a very good idea.
Yeah, I know.
That was a very good idea.
I saw it and I was like, okay, that's a good one. I would love to wake up, instead of waking up to go and make a line at 4 a.m. to remove we know who. Yeah. I'd be so happy to just be in the house and vote. But yeah, we can go on.
Tama, that can be the next big thing. Invest in it. And waambie watu wa gava hivi. So let's continue.
Yeah.
So nafika the last of my slides. So the final advice to you guys is keep learning. Stay close to your users. As a PM, you really have to understand. And as I've said, anticipate users' needs. And jua nini inaendelea na watu. Usikae tu kwa nyumba, introverted. Go out there, understand. Kumbe people want this. People want this. Don't be afraid to ship and iterate to build the product. Tama, don't be afraid to create an app where people can vote at home. It is a very good idea. I think all of us can agree. Thumbs up if you guys think that's a good idea. So that's a good idea. So see how you can build it. Look for investors. I don't know. Start, go pitch it to the government. The next thing we know, you're driving a big Prado. And also build relationships. As I've said, join a community. As I started this, I was alone. It was very difficult. But now that we are here, all of us together, and also you can join Mastercraft, like, so that you can grow quickly. It is easy to grow ukiwa na watu. Ukiwa peke yako utang'ang'ana, itakuwa a lot of trial and error, unashangaa mbona sipati connections, mbona just build the relationships. So that is it, guys. Nimemaliza on time, Rachel. Clap for me.
So Matthew makes a point, and I feel like it's not the way he should write it, because Matthew is trying to solve a problem for himself. He's not trying to solve a problem for others. So Matthew says, as a user, I want to create a SaaS service, software as a service, called Education Tracker, so that I can track my applications easily. Basically, Matthew wants to create a product for himself. He is the user. He's
No,
the product
actually,
manager. Is that
actually, Matthew,
viable? I don't know.
mimi naona from venye naona, I can
Mm-hmm.
say that it can be viable because
Okay.
as a user, wacha nijitetee pia.
Okay. Okay.
I've gone through the application process
Okay.
and I've received thousands of rejections,
Mm.
so many acceptance, so many people
Mm-hmm.
ghosting.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I can't track it because you apply to so many jobs, you forget. And then we have this very brutal interviewers when they call you 6 months later. Oh, Joy, I saw your application. You applied to hata unashanga, which company is this again?
I know. I get it.
Hata unashanga, alafu right now people, you customize your CV to that job. So hata unashanga, which CV did they send?
I
Because I
know.
have like 100 CVs.
Oh yeah, I get
So
you.
So
Uh-huh.
I agree with Matthew. Maybe that can be a user need. Just once again, as I've said, go to the users and see, do they
But
actually need it? Maybe it's just my problem.
but you see, Joy, this is what I'm trying
Mhm.
to tell you. Matthew
Mhm.
is the user. It's not that he's going to the user. Matthew is the
Uh-uh.
user, and he's solving his own problems. Like, as a user, I am hungry. I am going to eat. You get. Anyway,
Okay,
Matthew, I think
Matthew,
that's a
that
really good, interesting point, and please come up with it, because I think it's not just a problem for you. I believe that it's a problem for all of us as well. And
yeah.
Joy, you've shared the QR code, so you can actually scan
Yes.
and be able to register for Mastercraft. The deadline is on 29th, and Joy is our mentor. I mean, that's the best part about it. Yeah, so over
So
to you,
guys,
Joy.
please join. I've just given you a snippet of what I do as a PM, like a grain of sand. You just imagine something very small of what I do. And I've rushed through so that we can finish in 1 hour. So imagine what you can do in a whole program. So
Uh-huh.
please join. And as much as I'm a mentor, I've been a
Oh, Joy, we've just lost you. Joy, I think we keep losing you and finding you. So, yes, Fred, please keep it short, because I know when Fred touches the
so
mic, uh, yeah. Joy, we actually lost you. Joy, hello. Um, yes. So Vanessa has a question. As someone starting off as a PM, is it a must for you to know coding? Okay, so Joy is, I don't know where she's gone to, but I'm sure that probably her internet is acting up. Hmm. But I don't know. Joy, if you can hear us, there's a question here that needs to be answered. Vanessa asks, as a PM starting off, is it a must for you to know coding? Joy, can you hear us?
yes, I can hear you. Can you unanisikia?
Now we can hear you. We lost you, but maybe you can just start by answering Vanessa's question. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so sorry, I have two Wi-Fi's, so they keep on interchanging, and I need to like block one. So I think that process of changing from one Wi-Fi to another in a katika kidogo.
Okay,
So
that's a
is it a must to know coding? My answer is yes and no. So let me give you two experiences for the yes and the no. So in my experience, I know coding, and knowing coding has been able first to imenisaidia first to know exactly how a product is made. For a person who maybe doesn't know coding, anaweza kaa afikirie ati see, just create it. Kwani how hard can it be to just create an app? Like, so you can do it by tomorrow. Like, they can have that very thin mentality. But a person who has been through that process, they know the process of making something, dealing with bugs. They know that is a very major issue. They have more empathy. They know exactly how it's done. They have more empathy to the other stakeholders, kama kina developers. They know what they're going through. So that is a yes for me. On the no bit, so I'd advise that hata say that you na hands-on experience that you have coded for 9 years, at least know exactly how an app is made, what different languages can be used to make one, which is the best, what is easy to deal with in terms of bugs, so that also when you guys are coming up with the idea, you know what to tell, you know what to share with the stakeholders. Unawaambia, hey, you guys, let us use Kotlin because Flutter iko na easy issues, so that you can make the app quickly. Such things. So yes and no. So on the no bit, I know PMs who don't know how to code at all. I know PMs, and they know nothing. But these PMs are very good at research. They totally understand what the user needs. So unapata, these are the PMs that when they are coming up with an idea, they know idea once it gets to the market, it is going to, I don't know, be a 10 over 10. It's going to fully launch. So these ideas are very good at communication as well. Since they're not very good at skills, these people, since they're not very good at skill set, they know how to communicate exactly what they want very clearly. So you have to compensate. If you know OG or Ojaiva skills, make sure you communicate thoroughly. Like, you tell the developers exactly what you want to be made in the exact way. Kusikuwe na any issues. Because if there is any issue, it will be difficult for you to see the issue and diagnose it. Because you don't know the code, you don't know the process of developing an app, like on the tech side. So you have to be very good at communicating, and you have to understand the user needs very well. But sasa, as a great PM, be good at both. No, be a very good communicator, understand the user needs, and also know how to code. Si ile deep, ile juju, understand the different languages, how they work, their merits and demerits. Understand AI, like usikuwa tunaambiwa AI unashanga AI ni nini?
Yeah, I think Joy,
You don't even know what.
I absolutely agree with you, right?
Yeah.
Because, for example, for me, yes, I have been an Android engineer, right? But I have friends who are in design. I have friends who are in DevOps. I have friends who are in cybersecurity. I will tell you that I do have an understanding of everything that they're doing. I know that in data there is web scraping. I have never done web scraping, but I know what it's about. So even in the current job market, what I've come to notice is a lot of recruiters are expecting you not to know how to code, but to know what happens, to know what is the difference between React Native, Flutter, and Android, to know how is an M-Pesa integration done. Even if you've never done it, you can always read an article and just know, and make sure you have friends who are also in the. I feel like that helps us a lot as well.
Totally agree.
Yeah, and so Moses
Totally
asked
agree.
a question. Kindly also explain to me in detail who is a PM in a nutshell.
In detail, enough in a nutshell. So those are two contradicting. Wacha nikueleze.
I think he wants to be explained because I feel like Moses has asked this question twice. So I feel like
Okay,
the
let me
type of
explain.
explanation he needs is like you're speaking to a 5-year-old. Something quite simple. Yeah.
Okay, Moses, I hope you also understand Swahili because, yeah. So a product manager, let me speak for myself, is a person who is responsible for guiding the production of the product from idea to launch. Nilikuwa nimesema hii nikianza. So you are supposed to guide hii product inatengenezwa aje from idea to launch. You may not be the person who comes up with the idea. Mtu mwingine kama Nitamara amesema hii idea ya voting online. Come up with the idea. So as a PM nafaa ni think about it fully kwanza. Itakaa aje? Watu watakuwa na vote aje? Watakuwa wanaingia e-Citizen ndio wa vote? Watakuwa wana scan the ID? Think about it, the idea, and then think, do the users really want this? So voting online, do users actually really like going to stand kwa line 4 a.m. na towel, ama do they want to vote at the comfort of their bed? Think about vitu kaa hizo, security issues, and not just thinking, think and document. Like if you think do users actually like going to kupanga line, or do they want to vote online? You have a research team. Go tell the research team, this is the idea. Go to the users and see if this is what they want. If that's what they want, if they want to vote online, prioritize now features. Like now think, okay, this is how the app is going to be. The user logs in, anascan maybe ID, anasema I'm above 18, I live in Nakuru, I want to vote for who? I don't know. I don't want to say Raila or Ruto. I want to vote for whoever. So you prioritize these things, see which comes first, collaborate with stakeholders, with the design, what design your platform itaka aje, developers, Android developers, waambie this is it, the designer ametengeneza these designs, create this. Back to the research, as they continue researching, do the users like these things? Do they like this process? Do they want to log in as with the ID? Do they want to log in with fingerprint? Such things. Alafu go to the marketing team, ambia marketing team to try create the product. Sasa take it to the users. Ambia users, we are voting in 2027. Familiarize yourself with this. Ikifika time kuvote tusisumbuane. You just log in with the ID, you put your age, you put whatever you're voting for, and it's done. And then finally iterate, see if there are any changes that can be made. So you see, you have been the center of all of this. From the ideation, when this idea was coming in place, you defined the entire product scope. Ulikaa chini ukafikiria, this is how it can be done fully. You went to the research team, ukawaambia, go to the users, kwanza ensure, like ask them, is this something that they want? You went to the designers and the developers so that they can make the product. You went to the marketing, wakapeleka the product to the people. Back to the research again so that they can see, now we have made the app. Do people like it? Are people using it? And then measure metrics. Like if people are not liking it, shida ni nini? Do they not want to log in with the ID? If they like it, well and good, and other things. So that's basically who a PM is. You are responsible for guiding your product from the ideation to the launch. Without a PM, itakuwa very difficult to, after your product, your idea imekuja, sasa what else? Like there will be a lot of issues, a lot of miscommunication between teams, but with a PM, at least everything is streamlined.
And on that, he actually builds on the question and asks, so is it the same as being a project manager? So is a product manager also a project manager?
I want to say no. I want to say that a project manager is not the same as a product manager. So in my experience, a project manager actually deals with the entire project, especially on the budgeting side. I've worked with a project manager before. And for example, in example yetu, you're building an app here. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm using this as an example a lot. It's just a very good idea. Building an app ya kuvote online. My work ends there. Like my only focus is on the app, ya kuvote online, and that's it. But for us to create that app, maybe there's a company involved. Maybe we're working with the Kenya Voting Company, a company called Kenya Voting Company Limited. So in that company, we may have a project manager. Project manager anaangalia the entire company as a whole, anaangalia what are the different projects being done, including your voting online. That is a project under the dev team wana work on. Maybe kuna ingine. So anaangalia all the projects being involved. And most of the time, the focus is on pesa. So these guys are building a project ya watu kuvote online, ama product ya watu kuvote online. How much money do they need to build it? How much money are we going to pay these developers? If we're going to integrate AI, how much money will it cost to maybe build an AI model? Ama if we're going to integrate kina ChatGPT, how much subscription are we going to be paying per month for them to watumie? So most of the time, project managers, they look at the entire scope of the projects, especially on the finance side, and also ensuring that the finances or the resources that zimekwa kwa hii project actually meet the value. If we are building this product and you have invested 100 million in it, will it bring that 100 million plus in return? So if the project manager down the line on, we are using a lot of money to build this product, but it is not bringing that much return, like money, return maybe in terms of money. And as I call it quit, and as I say, no, we have wasted a lot of money on this project or this product, and it is not bringing money. And as a product manager, kama mimi, nafaa ni analyze mbona haileti hiyo pesa. Is it the designers walidesign vibaya? Is it the developers hawaidevelop? Does it have many bugs? You see, the project manager won't go into the nitty-gritties. Hata angalia the details why this app is not bringing money. But me as a product manager, if the app is not performing, I have to enter into the details kabisa kuangalia why the app is not performing. Are the users not liking it? Is there a competing product? Kuna mpesa ingine huko nje yenye watu wanatumia Airtel Money enye ina compete with our mpesa. So you see where the difference comes in. Hey guys, ama hata mumeconfusika zaidi.
I believe that that has been made clear even through the comments. And I'll just go to our very last question from Vanessa. And she says, another question, where can you find job opportunities or internships as a PM? And that will be our final question before we end the night. Yes.
Okay, so jobs opportunities as a PM. Okay, let me think back to when I was starting, because hapo ndio inakuanga tricky. So I don't think I'd recommend LinkedIn per se, especially that LinkedIn where there is jobs. Because honestly, most of the jobs that have tried hapo, either they are very expired or they don't accept Kenyan applicants. I'm assuming all of us were Kenyans. So you find like a US company has posted they want a PM, you apply, you go through all that, and then, oh, we can't employ you, you don't have US visa or something. So there is this channel that I use. So okay, I'll share it with Rachel and then she'll share it with you guys. So that channel, it is a job posting channel. It has genuinely legit jobs. I've seen people applying through that. It has mostly tech related jobs and they're genuine, they're legit. I've used it before. I've seen people use it and they work. I'm also in some PM WhatsApp groups. They also post jobs there, which I've also seen working very well. So I think those two, I'll share them with Rachel and then she'll share them with you. I've seen those working personally. So LinkedIn jobs, no. Maybe it's my algorithm, but it didn't work out for me when I was applying for jobs kitambo. It's still not working now. I don't know if it's the algorithm or no. And also referrals. Build your brand on LinkedIn, especially LinkedIn. People will reach out to you. It reaches a point where you see wewe sasa unatafuta kazi, HR and recruiters are now coming to you. Oh, I've seen your post or I've seen your profile and you're good at this and this. I wanted to ask you if you can do this job. So build it. Consistently post, talk about yourself. Build your own brand. Jitete every day. And people will notice you and they'll come back to you.
All
So
right. I think
that's it.
that is it.
Rachel,
Thank
do
you
you
so
have
much.
any other places
Well, I think
where people can
everything
apply for
that you
jobs?
said is pretty spot on. I've come to see that community. Like, for me, as I said in all the other calls, any job I've ever gotten has always been through a connection. Honestly, to the point where I don't even believe in looking for a job. Like, I believe in
Mhm.
where is my friend working? Do they have an opening? And sometimes it's not even
Uh-huh.
where is the friend working. Sometimes it's just you're seated and you receive a phone call, to be very
Yeah,
honest. And
true,
as you
true.
said, building your brand, like personally, I have built, uh, okay, to some extent, I personally have built my brand. Like my LinkedIn presence is not small, my X presence is not small. And even when you meet me
Mm-hmm.
in person, when you're speaking to me, you'll hear that I don't speak small about myself. You will.
Mm-hmm.
I always introduce myself as the head of programs of Space Air Tech. I mean, that alone, and that is also from community. I say that, yeah, I'm one of the best technical product managers you'll ever find in Kenya. So you definitely want to work with me.
You
As in,
have to.
you know, yeah.
You have
So
to
I
put
mean,
yourself out there.
the mouth for you. I really don't know what you're doing. You're sitting on resources. That's what I feel. But I know Fred has asked a question. I would really love for this to be the last question completely so that we can end the call. He's talked about mentorship, so maybe you can answer that. Has mentorship helped you in your career so far? Yeah, Vanessa, probably I don't know, are you in any of our social media platforms? I think that would be a nice place, the WhatsApp channel. So what I would do is I will share it on the WhatsApp channel. Let me share the link to the WhatsApp channel as well.
Okay, I'll share the links with you, Rachel, right now. And then you guys can be checking it out. Kwanza kuna moja where
Okay, sure.
they post jobs
We
almost every day.
share
So
all
yeah.
the links. So Joy, you can talk about mentorship and then we can end the call.
Okay, this is the last thing I'm talking about. Hata nimekauka core. Hey, I've been talking.
Okay. All right.
So has mentorship? Yes. I'm sorry. So yes, mentorship has helped me so much. Let me tell you guys the way it has helped me. Exposure. There is so much you can learn from someone who knows or from someone else. So maybe before you joined this program, let us say to Kama Moses, maybe you didn't know what a product manager and a project manager is. But now you know. In just 1 hour, you already know that. In 1 hour, you already know what a PRD is. In 1 hour, you know that at the end of this call, you're going to get a link where there'll be jobs. In 1 hour, imagine in 1 hour, you to cut a mar, you know that idea of yours. You came up with it maybe in this 1 hour, you know it's going to be good. And maybe you'll work on it. So you can imagine what a month and a year can do if 1 hour has done that. So mentorship programs are very good. They expose you to a world that you never knew, especially if you get a good mentor. And also educate. For example, all of us here have various experiences. I have various experiences in my career, in my life, in interviews. I've done so many interviews in the past. I've been to one, two, three, many jobs. I know the experiences. I know what a good experience is and what a bad experience is, and I can share those with you. So mentorship and training. And also something I wanted to share, let me share it right now. So being a PM, there's one thing doing the job and knowing the job, and there's also one thing answering the interview questions. So for example, if you're going to apply for a job, maybe let us say Vanessa, if you're maybe going to apply for a job and you get the job and you get the interview, maybe you go for the first round of the interview, the way they're going to ask the questions and the way you are going to answer them is not like a direct correlation of how you're going to do the job. That is something I learned the very, very hard way. So through something like mentorship, like Mastercraft, we can teach you guys on how to answer these questions. I had to learn this the hard way because I remember my first ever interview in the Lienda and I was answering the questions. I was like, yeah, maybe talk to us about a PRD. And I just answer. I answer, yes, a PRD is a document. And then I'm like, okay, why did I not get the job? I thought I answered things perfectly. Kumbe, there is a very specific way PM interview questions are supposed to be answered. There are very specific terms you're supposed to say. If the interview hears these terms, they'll be like, this one knows what they're talking about. But if you answer it without these terms, watakukata. So these are things I had to learn the hard way, but now I know. Now I'm very fluent in interviews. I interview people myself as well. So these are the things that you can learn through mentorship. Ndio usikae unashangaa, I have done so many interviews, why am I not getting the jobs? And I have all these certificates and all that. Maybe it's just the way you're presenting yourself. So yes, mentorship is important. Make sure to join as many mentorship programs as you can. Start with Mastercraft because we are here anyway. So
I like how you said it.
register. Huh?
Yeah, I like how you said it. Start with Mastercraft because we are here anyway.
Yeah, tumeshaanza.
Yes.
This is our first session. Anza.
Yeah. Yeah.
So start with this and join us many others. Ukipata yoyote out there, if you see it can benefit you, join. Join, learn and grow.
Wow, thank you so much, Joy, for such an informative session. I mean, look, Yukabeth has said, thank you, Joy, for the informative session. Tomar, thank you for the session, Joy. I personally have learned a lot. Even Vanessa, thank you so much for the informative. I mean, honestly, I have learned a lot, just knowing that interviews need to, there's supposed to be, a specific way of doing your interviews, getting to know what a project manager does, what a product manager does, the difference between a good product manager and a great product manager. Personally, what I have gone home with is that a great product manager creates ownership of the product to everyone, is consistent with communication, and that's how ownership is actually built. So a client, or rather a user, feels like it's their product. They're also part of the product, so they also have a say, and that's when you know that you have a very good product manager. So thank you so much, Joy. We cannot wait to experience your mentorship skills at Mastercraft. Be sure to register for Mastercraft starting on the 30th, so the deadline is definitely on 29th. And that is it from us here at Space Your Tech. If nobody has told you, you are an amazing person, and keep believing in it. Thank you so much for being here at the Career Mastery Week. I think it's been an amazing week. If you've missed the other sessions, not to worry. Next week, we will be premiering all the videos on our YouTube channel, so look out for that. Thank you so much, guys, once again. Joy, it seems like you had some closing remarks for us.
Closing remarks. Have a good night.
Okay. Good night.
Okay, yeah. And thank you guys for joining. Take a screenshot of this page that I'm sharing. Scan the link, register, share it with your friends. Please share out and about what we're doing. You don't know, maybe you may not need it, but someone else in your friend group may need it. So don't be stingy. Share it around.
I've also shared the link in the comments section.
Thank you guys for joining. Oh my gosh, it's been nice. Hata kama you've not spoken to me, you have spoken to me through text.
Anybody wants to unmute themselves and tell Joy good night, because it seems like she has a very big because you guys decided not to unmute yourselves.
Good night, guys. Thank you for the session that you've given us. Yeah.
Oh, thank you,
Oh my gosh. Oh, Yukabeth. Hi, Yukabeth.
Hi, Joy.
It's so nice that you have joined us.
Yeah,
I came in late, but I believe I've benefited from what I've had in that short time.
Oh, great. Nitakutafuta kando.
okay, thank you, guys. Do have a good night. Feel free to leave the call.
Okay, bye, guys.